big man! Oh, it's pretty! It's so pretty!
This is MASL Primetime. What's up, everyone? Alex Bastyovanszky coming to you from our brand new MASL studios. And honestly, it's just so great to be back doing the program once again. All season long, we'll be bringing you all the best from the Major Arena Soccer League. And after a shortened season last year, it's full steam ahead this time around. We're back to a full 24-game schedule. So let's take a closer look now at what went down last season and what's on tap for the 2021-22 MASL campaign.
Game 1 to San Diego 7-3. Game 2 to the Fury 6-5 in overtime. Game 3 starts now. It's Serta! He scores! He scores! The Sockers lead it 3-2! The San Diego Sockers have been on the road the entire season, but mama, they're coming home with a cup in the suitcase!
What a moment that was last spring for San Diego. The win over the Ontario Fury gave them their first ever MASL championship.
Yeah, you know, it was a very rewarding feeling at the end of the year holding that championship trophy up. And we've had so many seasons where we've been in such a good position, so close to the end, and haven't managed to get ourselves to the final in years and haven't managed to win that trophy. And so the objective of the organization every year is to lift the Ron Newman Cup. And it was very rewarding.
What a season it was for the Major Arena Soccer League. Played during the COVID-19 pandemic. It was a unique campaign, to say the least. The league went from 17 teams the year before to just 7, as several organizations took a leave of absence for a year due to COVID-19 restrictions. But in the face of adversity, just playing was an accomplishment.
There were many leagues in similar circumstances that just shut down. And for the MASL, even though we had to shrink down and only have 7 participants, there were players from teams all around the league settling onto those 7 rosters, creating almost an all-star level of competition.
The spirit of the sport, giving the players an opportunity to play. And the fact that the teams that loaned out these players, like the incredible Ian Bennett, who could score on the moon, I'm convinced of that, and getting a chance to show his stuff with another team, how well he played, how he filled the net. I think that was important for the players.
This season, it's game on. Players on loan have returned to their parent clubs. 12 teams will take part in a full 24-game schedule, spread from east to west, north to south, including one new team in Mexico, the Chihuahua Savage. Traditional powers return in Milwaukee and Baltimore, and the league is under new management, led by arena soccer legend, Commissioner Keith Tozer, new league chairman Shep Messing, a former professional and national team goalkeeper turned broadcaster, and JP Delacamera, the league's new president of communications and media.
I think Shep, JP, and I are excited today as we were back in 1978 when the MISL kicked off. We're so excited about bringing indoor soccer back, especially after a time we're in the middle of a pandemic and people need something to really get excited about.
Alex, we were so happy to kick off a season. So I'm happy that we've started. And I think once new fans see how exciting the product is, I'm looking forward to them jumping on our bandwagon. We have plenty of room for them.
The 2021-22 campaign is setting up to be one for the ages. The league will be split into 3 divisions, East, West, and Central. And interdivisional play is on the schedule, which will renew old rivalries between MASL heavyweights. At the end of the day, though, players are just happy to be able to play again. And in front of fans. The chase for the Ron Newman Cup is on, and it should be epic.
As a player who's only got a couple years left in the tank at most, it's really nice to be able to be back in a full swing of things and have a 12-game slate at home and have 12 games on the road, and what looks to be a very, very competitive schedule with a lot of very, very good teams. I mean, I couldn't be happier with the direction of our sport and the league, and it seems like everything is moving in the right direction globally for our entire league and sport, which is a great thing.
Welcome back, everyone. So the MASL season kicked off last week, and what better way to get things started than with the Battle of Missouri? Kansas City and St. Louis went at it in a home-and-home series for state bragging rights. And of course, KC features the incomparable Leo the Legend, player-coach Leo Gibson, the all-time MASL leading scorer, who's in a race right now with Ontario's Frank Théu to become the first player to ever hit 400 career points. And Leo made a lot of progress in that pursuit last weekend. Right now, Gibson has 387 points, and Théu clocks in with 377. But in this contest, it's St. Louis that hits first.
Both these guys, he said, the only thing lacking, getting out there and getting the experience.
Mo NDI with the first goal of the new MASL season, and in the second quarter with the score tied 1-1, JT Thomas goes to work here off a feed by NDI. This is arena soccer perfection. Off the boards, back to Thomas, 2-1 ambush. KC knots it up again though 3 minutes later. Leo Gibson to Ray Lee, who just manages to squeeze it past the keeper. Watch again here, through the legs. It goes, ouch, and that made it 2-2. In the second half, the Comets take their first lead of the evening, courtesy Leo the Legend, and this one might have been touched out front, actually. Take another look by his teammate right there. Regardless, Leo gets credit. 3-2 Kansas City. St. Louis would even it up again, but at the 13:51 mark, Kyle McLaughlin crushes that offering into the back of the net to make it 4-3. But then in the fourth quarter,
right there waiting for it, he springs it loose. Thomas with plenty of real estate. Thomas against Neto, gives you a friend. It's in! It's Baba Kujakov!
all knotted up at 4 apiece, but just $1.10 later. Word to the wise, don't give Leo Gibson 2 cracks at it, because that's what happens. Absolutely clinical Leo is, and that proved to be the winner as Kansas City takes the MASL season opener 6-4 over St. Louis. They went at it again the next night, though. This time back in KC, and the home squad ran away with this one. Already up 1-0. Great passing by the Comets here. Even better finish by Kevin Ellis, tucking it just under the bar. Beauty. 2-0 KC, and 40 seconds later, watch this now. Now, this is an accomplishment. In hockey, it happens with the puck, obviously, and rarely. To break the glass with a soccer ball, well, take a bow, Ray Lee. That is some serious power right there. And then soon afterwards, Lee notches his second point with the assist on the James Togba goal. And it was 3-0 for KC. They ambush. We're down 5-0 when they finally get on the board. It goes in off the KC player. At that point, St. Louis didn't care how the heck it went, and they just needed goals, and lots of them. 5-1. Then Leo goes back to work.
Leo, shot, goal! Another restart goal for the Comets.
Unreal, that guy. Second half now, Robert Christo smashes it home to cut the St. Louis deficit to 4 goals. St. Louis actually won on a run, scoring 4 straight times, including this Mohamed Endai effort. The Comets would virtually shut the door from that point on and pull away. They take this one big time. 11-6 your final as KC sweeps the Battle of Missouri. Okay, in week 2, the ambush were looking to bounce back in Dallas Taking on the sidekicks, it didn't look good for the ambush early on, though. Just a $1.34 in. Luis Morales making it 1-0. And then
Felipe will step over. I think Tito.
Brendan Lee making it 2-0 Big D, and that's when the ambush really got it going, though. Pepe Junqueira cuts it to 2-1. Just under 2 minutes later, Ado Jokic crushes that offering past Esteban Vasquez to even the score up 2-2. Second quarter now, Nico Carides, ever the opportunist, pounces on the rebound there, and St. Louis was rolling up 3-2 at that point, and moments later, Junqueira with one of the strikes of the week. That baby was still rising. 4 straight goals for the ambush, and they weren't even close to being done. Sam Guernsey off to the races, makes it 5-2 for St. Louis. They were leading 8-2 in the fourth quarter when Morales puts together some magic. Absolutely sublime strike. Gorgeous. Not a win for Dallas, but the home fans were having a blast anyway. And Morales would end up with a hat trick, but the ambush ultimately prevail. They take this one 8-4. Okay, let's take a look at the MASL points leaders before we go to break. Leo Gibson leading the way, followed by Mohamed Andai, John Sosa, Ado Jokic of St. Louis, and his teammate JT Thomas, both with 4 points on the campaign so far. Hey, welcome back, everyone. In the offseason, there were big changes to the MASL leadership structure, and the new man in charge is going to join me today on the show for a chat to catch up with all that's gone on. And that man is American soccer legend Keith Tozer, the new commissioner of the Major Arena Soccer League. Keith, great to see you again, and how are you enjoying the new gig so far, Mr. Commish?
Yeah, great seeing you also, Alex. This has been fantastic. I mean, to take over the league with Shep and JP, you know, 2 icons in indoor soccer and outdoor soccer here in the United States, has really been a wonderful experience, and we really look forward to what's going to transpire in the future.
Definitely not a group that's lacking in experience, and you guys have drawn on that arena soccer pedigree to make some rule changes this season that will definitely be noticeable. Maybe just tell us a bit about those rule changes and why you felt they were necessary.
Yeah, you know, Shep, JP, and I were looking at the game, and we felt the ball was going back to the goalkeeper too many times compared to when we played and we were involved in the game. So we had Ryan Sigich, the head of referee, edit 3 games prior to COVID, and we found out on an average that people were going back to the goalkeeper between 80 and 100 times. We also felt that if we can drop that down to maybe 30 or 40, then there's more goal-scoring opportunities, which we all know will create more goals being scored. So we did our due diligence. We had a lot of discussion, and so far it looked great last weekend, and everybody's excited about it.
Right, and obviously when there are new rules, it's a process for the game officials to learn those new rules and implement them as well. What's the league been doing to work with the game officials on those changes?
Well, that's the second question that needed to be answered, because when you make a rule change, 2 things. Will it make the game better? We said yes. Will our referees be able to manage it? And we said yes. A weekend or so ago, I was in Dallas for our MASL referee symposium. Spent an entire 2 days with them talking about how to manage the goalkeeper rule. We looked at a lot of tape. We discussed it. We explained to them why we're doing this. I think we're ready. And the first weekend definitely showed that the referee department was ready for the rule change.
So Keith, a new team this season, the Chihuahua Savage, who will actually this season be the only team located south of the border. And I know the league is super pumped to have the Savage on board. And it keeps a presence, of course, there in Mexico, where there's a big MASL following. Tell us more about Chihuahua.
Yeah, recently we just returned from Chihuahua. I've never been there. I spent 3 days with the ownership group, and it's a great city. I really, really like Chihuahua. They have a great presence there. There's really no first division outdoor soccer team there, so they really can capture the market. They have a youth club wrapped around it. They have this great training facility around their stadium. I did see them train for one day, Alex. They're going to be a very good team. It's important that we have presence in Mexico. Monterrey sitting out this year, coming back 22-23. We're looking at Guadalajara. We're looking at Leon, and would love to have a team in Mexico City. So our south of the border partners are extremely important. So we're very excited about the 12 teams playing. We're very excited about the future of the sport moving forward. And we just can't wait to, really get into the thick of things.
Hey Keith, we could do this all day, but unfortunately we're all out of time for this segment. But we will be having you on all throughout the season to give us updates on what's going on with the MASL. Thanks so much for taking the time, and we'll chat soon. Okay, this week's Blast from the Past is in honor of the new commissioner, and this is Keith Tozer right here. In 1978, the first ever year of the major indoor soccer league. Now, Tozer was the first overall pick in the college draft that season, and he was young, but still rocking a pretty sweet mustache, I've got to say. This contest between his Cincinnati Kids and the visiting Philadelphia Fever at Cincinnati's Riverfront Coliseum. Now, the Fever actually went on to finish runner-up for the championship that season, and the MVP that year, none other than new MASL chairman Shep Messing. Okay, some news from the past week. Harrisburg has made a splash by signing forward Luis Brambilla. Now, he's in his fourth MASL season now, and he'll bring some serious offensive punch to the Heat. With the Turlock Express in 2019-20, he racked up 16 goals in 20 games. Looking ahead to week 3 of play, there are some great games on tap. We're going with Milwaukee and Baltimore as our marquee matchup, though. So much history between these two squads. Incredibly, they haven't faced each other since the 2018-19 season when the Wave knocked off the Blast in the playoffs on the way to winning the Ron Newman Cup. These are two absolute heavyweights going toe-to-toe. And of course, it will mark the return of Ian Bennett in a Wave uniform. And you see the Tropics logo behind him there. Looks weird, doesn't it? And that's because last season, Ian was on loan to Florida since Milwaukee didn't play. What a season he had, though, winning the MVP award. Quick look now at the top 5 in goals against average for goalkeepers. Hugo Silva leading the way, followed by Juan Gamboa, Nicolau Neto, William Vanzela, and from Utica City FC, Andrew Coughlin, to round out the top 5. Welcome back to MASL Primetime. The Florida Tropics were far and away the top team in the 2021 MASL regular season, dropping just a single game in regulation time to earn themselves the number 1 seed come playoff time. Alas, 2 games and they were out in the postseason against 5th seeded San Diego. Now, the Sockers did, of course, go on to win the title, but that wound still hasn't healed entirely for the Tropics. They've got something to prove this season, and they kicked off their campaign last weekend against League Power Baltimore. The Blast was making its return to the MASL after sitting out last season due to COVID-19 protocols, and it was some kind of atmosphere in Baltimore, I'll tell you. Big crowd on hand to welcome their team back. Emotional night for all involved for sure. The Tropics jumped out to an early lead, but Lucas Roque evens it up with a weird one there, off the back of keeper Hugo Silva and in. Exactly 6 minutes later, though, Rafa Alves uses the boards to find Drew Ruggles on the doorstep, and Dr. Ruggles puts Florida back on top. Second quarter, Victor Pereira hammers a ball that goes off the Baltimore player in front and in. Tropics up by 2, but then in the second half,
he's going to have to do that this season. He's obviously got...
Oh, drive and a goal by Donatelli off the restart. He roofs this. Upper 90 on Silva.
Tony Donatelli pulls them to within 1, but Florida always kept it just out of reach. Bruno Enrique makes it 4-2. FLA, they would go up 5-2. Lucas Roque notching his second of the evening here, though, to pull the Blast to within 2, but ultimately Florida holds on to drop Baltimore by a 6-4 final score. Okay, the next day, the Tropics in Utica, another team returning to the league this year after missing last season. And I'll tell you, this result raised a few eyebrows. Already up 2-0 in the second quarter, Ricardino Sobrera jumps on a miscue out front, and the boys in orange up by 3, and they weren't even close to being done. Pretty passing here. Zach Reggett, man, this guy was just on fire last week, and he makes it 4-0. But then
Tavernisi with a cross, headed by Bordeaux. Ubi Parapovic shoots, it's wide, Bordeaux scores! In his 10th professional season, Nate Bordeaux opens up with the side's first goal of the campaign.
They break the goose egg, but Florida pulled away throughout the game, and this was the final nail in the coffin. Empty net, keeper Hugo Silva showing off the big arm. Goal for the keeper, man oh man. 7-1 Florida, the final. Utica will lick its wounds and look to bounce back next week. Okay, look at the standings here. Starting in the East, Florida, flawless so far, 2-0. Harrisburg yet to play. Baltimore and Utica yet to pick up a win. In the Central, KC looking good as well at 2-0. St. Louis, 1 win so far. Milwaukee yet to play. They kick it off this upcoming week. And out west, no games played so far, although San Diego and Tacoma will start things off this upcoming weekend as well. Okay, the primetime players were announced for week 2. Zach Reggett taking home offensive honors. The Tropics forward was an absolute terror for opposing goaltenders, racking up 4 goals over 2 games, both wins for Florida, of course, which boasts as deep an offense as any team in the league this season. And the goalie of the week honor goes to Zach's teammate, Hugo Silva. The native of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, was a brick wall for the Tropics, allowing just 5 goals total over 2 games. And of course, he scored a goal as well against Utica City. Not a bad week at all, Hugo. Okay, time now for the plays of the week.
Sosa. Leo. Shot. Goal! Goal from the great Leo Gibson.
That's a name that we talk about a lot of the preseason that we haven't said we talk about nearly enough.
J.P. Thomas!
Good tackle. 4-2 if they hurry. 4-2 if they hurry.
Go!
Play goes on.
Yeah, he's going to have to do that this season. He's obviously got
Drive and a goal by Donatelli off the restart. He roofs this. Upper 90 on Silva.
Looking inside for Leo. Now Lee. Back to Ellis. Shoots. Scores! Wow!
Felipe comes on a little bit late.
Oh, goal, goal, go, 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 go!
What a quick shot.
We cannot drain the energy
shot
the whole entire game.
Goal! Go, 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 go!
Great finish.
Goal for the downside kicks.
And that is going to wrap it up for our first episode this season of MASL Primetime. But just a reminder, all throughout the campaign, you can keep up to date with what's going on in the league by checking out all of the MASL's social media outlets. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. We'll see you next week.